Still where we start with weekly chart, you want to see how we can look for trade. First of all, if we start with the weekly chart, as we can see the price almost at the top of this correction. Now we want to see how we can look for trade, whether we should look for buy or sell for long term. And beside that, if we want to look for flat, we have the first down move. This is the second. How about if we get one more drop? Okay, we want to see whether we should look for this down move or not. If we look for drop, the sell in terms of the risk and reward, then it can give us better trade setup. And beside that, even if the price continue, mostly we can see the divergence. All right, this is what we're looking for, is a long term. In this case, we move to lower time frame, and even if we move to daily chart, as you can see, we have been within this move. The way was moving in terms of this one, and is quite corrective. And I want to see how we can look for trade, whether we should look for buy or sell. When we see this kind of the correction, we are almost at the top. It doesn't mean the price cannot continue. We want to see how we can look for trade in terms of the risk and reward. Mostly, if we look at the, I mean, if we get the sell setup in terms of the risk and reward, it can give us better trade setup if we trading based on daily chart. And we put our line here. This line is indicative. It doesn't show us anything. Okay, and based on daily chart, we don't have anything. The only things, I'm right looking at this one. I want to see whether this one can give me a drop or no. In this case, we move to forward chart. We want to see how we can look for chart. And the only thing is, as we can see when in our analysis, every to be measured, we can expect the price, since the price was within this move, take the trend line and reverse, and this is what we get. Now, what I have here is a correction. Can we put this one as the first and this one in terms as a correction for one more drop or not? Okay, that means even based on forward chart, the price almost at the top of this correction. If we get a sell, that means it can give us better trade setup to look for. But right now, we cannot confirm with the divergence. How about the MACD? Since the MACD is, I mean, we cannot look for the divergence unless the price break the previous top. But mostly we cannot get the divergence, because if there is a continuation, everything will disappear. Now, how we can look at this? Right now, again, we're looking at this one as an internal correction in relative to this. If this price move a bit higher, if we get any drop, this is what we're looking for. Again, it doesn't mean the price cannot continue. It can. We want to see what's the best to look for trade in terms of the risk and reward. By the way, we don't have any trade setup to look for based on forward chart. And if we move to 1 hour chart, what I can see here, still we can put this one in relative to this for continuation. But how to look for trade? If we put our entry above the top, we're buying at the top of the correction. And where is the worst stop loss? Either here or here. I don't think it's a really good trade. And even if we want to look for the flag, it doesn't give us any trade setup to look for buy. The best thing is this one, let this one move a bit higher. If we get any sell from there, we can look for. But how about if this is the start of the down move? That means if we see the correction here, we have this one, any sell also, we take it. That's mean if we get any opportunity for sell, we take the trade. But right now, we don't have any trade set up for sell. Either this one turn to a correction for sell, or the price continue and break the either this at least this top or the even the previous top. Then if we get any sell from there, we will take the trade. In case this is the correction and this is the first, and we get one more drop, at least with the breakout of the lowest price of this correction. Okay, but right now we don't have any trade setup, and we're looking at this again. The price can continue. It doesn't mean the price cannot continue, but we're looking for the best trade that we can look for in terms of the risk and reward. And if we move to 15 minutes, this is what right now we're looking at this. If we get any trade setup for sell from here, we will take it, and with the breakout of this low, we start to manage it. How to look for trade? Right now, the only way is to put our entry below this, which is not a good idea. I prefer this one move a bit higher, then I look for trade setup. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update or trade setup, I will share. Thanks.